Zip. Zap. Zop. Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip.
Zap.
Faster.
Zop.
Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip.
Zop.
Zap. Oh! Together and zap! Get out my store. Zap.
Zop.
Zip.
Zap. Zop.
It's too late.
Zap. Sorry.
And he's
For
out.
me, oh damn it.
Zap. Zop.
Zip. Zap. Zop.
Zip. Zap. Zop.
Zip.
Zap. Zop. Zip.
Zap. Zop.
Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip.
Zap. Zop. Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip. Zap.
Zip.
Zop.
Oh. Zip.
Zap.
Zop. Zip.
Zap.
Zop. Zap.
Oh.
Zip. Zap.
Zop. Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip.
Zap. Zop.
Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip.
Zip.
Zap.
Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip. Zap. Zop.
Zip.
Zop.
Both safe. I have a target on you.
Alright, okay. I have zop.
Zip. Zap. Zop.
Zip.
Zap.
Zip.
Oh! That's the coolest thing of all. Let's kiss. On the there we go.
You can start us.
Zip. Zap. Zop. Zip. Zap. Zap.
Oh!
Yes!
That's an excellent
From worst to first, motherfuckers! That was. I thought it would get easier when it got down to 2. Oh man!
Like, I think the misfits of the crowd kind of, I think we can sway them, you know, like we talked about some people sort of being on the bubble of like who knows people, you know. I think if we're pretty ruthless, we could go pretty far.
Okay, this is what just happened with Steven.
Yeah.
Steven, I walked in, he's head of household. He said, "You're definitely on the block." Started talking to him. He was like, "Listen." He was like, no. He was like, "Listen, if you're head of household again, if you promise for the next 3 challenges not to put me up." And I was like, "I swear to God." And I'm honest, I'm not the type of person who can lie. I told Dan in the room I was nominating him. I didn't tell Steven I was nominating him when he came to talk to me because I wasn't sure at that point.
Steven's got to know though that he can't win this game though, don't you think?
But now,
I think the end 3 is what we're looking at, is you and me and Steve, and then Steve gets sold at the river. We've kind of got,
Yeah,
people
that's-
hate him.
well,
We've got to get into the game. Like the couples, we have to break up at some point.
Okay.
So I think, but let them go for a while because I feel like they're not even thinking about it. They're just thinking about like giving each other hand jobs in the cab.
I took like a huge dump earlier, and I held up the voting the last round, and I think people knew that I was taking a dump, and I feel like I'm gonna get known as the guy who was taking a dump, and I fear that in the next round it's gonna be obvious. I feel like I'm gonna get put up on the chopping block because I was taking a dump.
Hey, I love her.
Okay. We have to reevaluate our whole relationship, right?
Yeah, you voted me out.
Okay.
Who else voted for me? I don't want to vote for you. I want to put up either violence and one other person who voted, either someone who she's fine with, or someone who voted for me. Who else voted for me? If you can get me 2 minutes before the nomination, I'll put them up. So go find out who voted for me.
Okay, I'll be back. But you know I voted for Dan.
Yeah.
So I figured I'm probably eligible to be on the chopping block.
That's the thing, because I don't want to like make enemies. My only thing right now is like who voted for me. And let me ask your opinion about Violet, because she nominated me. And she says she wanted Dan gone, and I believe her kind of. But it's also like, can I trust that? Like, don't nominate you. Will you have my back in the upcoming votes for at least for a little bit?
Yeah, it's funny. Well, it's funny because I've been thinking this. Everybody will get together and be like, we should have this alliance, and I like haven't really been keeping track of it. And I'm like, well, I know Dan's my guy. Dan's been eliminated, and I'm like, well, the only other person I really know is Kyle. But aside from that, if I avoid the chopping block, then
I just mean, yeah, if it's not me versus Kyle or me versus you.
I voted for you to stay.
Yeah.
Let's be in alliance.
You're super safe. Okay, thanks, Audrey. You're safe. And you got my back in the future?
absolutely.
I hope you get to experience what it feels like. Actually, whoever these people I nominate, I hope they don't get to experience this. But like going from thinking that you're gonna go to being head of household has been like a really like nice experience. So like even if I get voted out next, which I hope I don't, I will appreciate this time I had in the head of household room. I really like being the funniest person in the room for the last 8 minutes.
Oh wow!
Just maybe because everyone was like, "Oh, Steve." But that being said, I literally am the only person in this room who knows what it's like to be up on the block. So I'm so sorry, and I'm trying to do it in a way that like is just kind of like this happened, so then this happened. So that's why I'm nominated. Violet, I'm going to nominate you for eviction. Strictly because you've nominated me. I don't think you were completely honest with me. And I think you're the best. I really do honestly like you. I would not have, if you did not nominate me, I would not have nominated you. And then the second person is, Megan, how do you say your name?
Oh.
No, because it's not you. Could you imagine? No. The worst. Sorry. This person is legit Laura. Just because I know you voted against me the last time.
Nice.
Oh no, sorry. I meant to say you.
Annie.
I turned around.
I am so. Oh my god. I am so sorry, Laura. I apologize, and Annie. Just because you told me you voted for me, I understand what Violet was saying last time, which is like, I don't want either of you to go. And this was just because I don't want to make other people angry who I think might stick around. But the nomination ceremony is over. Thank you.
I think I'm voting off Violet.
Yeah. Well, we've got, what are our choices between?
It's Violet and Annie seems very sweet,
Mm-hmm.
and also seems like a weaker competitor.
Annie's non-threatening.
Annie's not threatening, and she's just like having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And Violet, I feel like, has been kind of just playing the game very hard.
Right.
And to the point where I just, if we can make it easier in the long run, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's make that decision.
I'm in the same boat. You might be watching Confessional later, where we're braiding each other's hair.
Yeah, we won't be wearing shirts. You'll know how the night's going.
Mm-hmm.
But
So, Steven, I really trusted you, and I just saw that,
Hi.
I just saw that you put Violet on the chopping block, and she said that you had promised her that she wouldn't, and I really trusted you. So I'm just not sure. I'm just going to keep watching and see the consistency that you might demonstrate. I think you and Violet right now are the strongest two leaders in our house, and I'm going to see who demonstrates more consistency.
I do feel like you could have had a stronger character if you would have been honest with me in the room.
In the room, I meant it that I wasn't going to freak you out. But like then I talked to some other people, and I was like, oh, and it was like the only person who actually did anything to me was you. That's the only option I had.
So I've been nominated to go home, y'all, and I don't know what the fuck that shit's about.
Do you want to be with someone who's going to lie to you and backstab you and turn on you, or do you want someone you know will be true to their word?
But we're not voting between you and them.
Right.
I would prefer my dad.
I feel like there's nowhere I can go there.
Look, if I don't put you, will you not nominate me? She said yes. I said okay. I'll think about that, but I did not say that.
Guys, this is really scary. I want to stay and play. I heard that there might be some sort of like dance involved challenge later on, and I just have like the freakiest moves that are gonna like blow your shit. You're just gonna be like, oh my god, thank God we didn't vote her off. This is like fucking insane. So stay tuned for that.
stay tuned.
Like, just, this game's gonna be tough. You're gonna want lots of hugs. You're gonna want, it's like, Violet, so-and-so lied to me and now they're alliance, blah, blah. And like, what do I do? And I'm like, just like go with your heart, these are like things that in that particular situation are gonna help you case by case. So I think that's gonna come in handy later on.
I have got to be totally honest. I have no idea what to say. This is a totally new experience for me, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm having fun, and I'm really looking forward to participating in more challenges, and so I hope that I get your vote to stay, but I have no ill will to Violet, and this isn't very convincing, but I hope I get your vote anyway.
I will never put you up again until like final 5 or 4, whenever it happens. Just something to think about. I understand that like your gut reaction is like kill me.
No, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not like the vengeful player.
I just fucking lied to her. Ryan, and then Mary, of course, however long you want to keep Mary.
One more person to vote.
I'm not tied to her in this game.
And I love her.
I don't trust Steve. I don't trust anything he said to me. And you know what? I don't. Whatever he wants to do, whatever he tells me to do in the alliance, I'm gonna vote the exact opposite way. I think he's a conniving snake.
I'm voting Annie out.
I'm voting to get rid of Annie, but not because I don't love her. She's lovely and great. But I think Violet has a strategy, and I think she's really hilarious, and I want to see more of her in the games.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, so this is all very stressful to me. I'm going to vote Annie out because earlier she was kind of indifferent to the whole situation anyway. And Violet is great comic relief, and I think she has a plan, which is intriguing.
Violet has been setting up alliances behind people's back. She's been backstabbing this whole time. I don't trust her. I never did from the beginning when she showed up with her peanut butter cup cookie treats. I don't trust her. So I'm voting for Violet to be evicted.
I'm voting to send Annie home, not for a super particular reason. I'm curious to see the dance moves that Violet promised, if there is a dance challenge. I think I'll do pretty well in that too.
I'd like Violet to stay, and I think that's because she's really strategic and seems like a team player, and I really believe in her. So
I'm gonna vote Annie, just because I don't know her, which is shitty. I think that's the same vote I made last time. But Violet really wants to play, and it would be fun having people that want to do that. So I'm sorry, Annie.
I am going to be voting out Annie, and I'm sorry. I just think it was really wrong that Violet was voted out in the first round of Survivor, and I watched the video, and it made me like really sad to watch it, and I just want to give her ample chance to play this game. I also think she'll be really interesting to watch to play the game. Not that like Annie would not be interesting, I think they're both really interesting, but I think that Annie might pose a challenge. I feel like at one point, knowing Matt, there could be a yoga pose challenge, and Annie's a yoga teacher. Love you both. Sorry, Annie.
I'm going to vote Annie off. Sorry, Annie. Just because you seem like you're getting tired, and I feel like you may quit in the end. I feel like Violet has a lot to prove.
Bye-bye, Annie. Violet and I are going all the way to the end.
I'm gonna vote for Annie. I'm sorry, you seem like a lovely person, and you look great in your yoga pants. But I feel like I've had a longer history with Violet, and she really, really wants to win and wants to make it through a few rounds.
Hi, America. I'm not going to vote for Violet because we still have an alliance, and I feel like Violet and Steve, if they keep fighting, they'll destroy each other. So I'm not going to vote for her and keep her alive. I'm voting for Annie.
by a vote of 11-1. Annie.
Wow.
That's awful.
Jeez, your Pete's Violet's a powerhouse.
Dang.
We love you though.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Alright, well, my humorous little confessional after I was nominated has proven to be prophetic, I guess. I've been voted off the second. That's alright. The interesting thing is, though, like 3 or 4 people both kind of looked at me and winked and were like, "You're fine. I think you're going to be here for a while." So that's kind of interesting because at least a couple people either were maybe swayed after they talked to me or weren't truthful. So that's interesting. And I would just say, I think that anybody who is nominated on the chopping block should not believe anybody when they say, you're good, because you never know who could be lying. And I just think that lying never serves anybody anything. So just be honest.